I think I showed this patch before. This was last year's stuff. Didn't quite burn at all. Initially, we were just lighting the grass. I was lighting the grass, and then my father came along and said, well, let's throw a bit of diesel on. And we got a lot of them burnt. I only burnt a few myself, and, you know, we got serious and put some diesel on, and you wouldn't believe it, there was actually a green one growing amongst the middle of this patch. The old peppercorn tree got a bit of an arse whooping, to put it lightly. And if that wasn't enough on this side, well, we've done it again on this side. And yeah, he helped me with some of them, and he actually did quite a good job. Put in a lot of effort for me. And then he ended up picking up one, and he got one of these prickles stabbed right through the side of his leg. And I was there when it happened, and oh gee, he was in pain, and he, yeah, sort of lost the go to do any more and whatnot. And they wanted to go to my sister's place for a while, so they did that. Here's some of the little ones. What I'm doing is I'm lopping the bits that are burnable off. I've actually been going quite well with the other one I showed originally up there. Spent hours and hours burning all the sticks that come off it. Some of them go really well, like this, like just woof, and all you're left with is a little bit of stuff. You get the bulk of it. And others don't go very well at all. It's all to do with the density. This here, all this stuff here has been clipped off. You probably see little dots there. That's all been lopped off there. Reason it didn't go right through is it's just not dense enough. This stuff has to be seriously compacted. You know, stuff like that is hopelessly not dense enough. There's other stuff where it's, you know, a bit better, like down here, and it still won't go. It's got to be really dense for it to burn and hold a flame. Otherwise it gets to the point you're throwing on a bean tin worth of diesel, and you get a big black cloud, and it goes for about 20 seconds, and then it burns down and nothing. And then throw another one, and in the end you realise all you're doing is wasting diesel, and you're not burning anything except the diesel you've thrown on, and the prickles are still all there. But like I said, some of them went brilliant. Just cut little scraggles. And yeah, another one up there. That should have gone better because it was dense enough, but it didn't go very well. It's cockatoos. Little cats looking up. Ooh. Oh yeah, another lot of cockatoos. Bit noisy when they come down low. Black Kitty's growing a bit, but not much. She's sort of, I don't know, she's quite behind Tabby Cat. What's doing, Tabby Cat? Hey? You're getting big, ain't you, bud? She's almost full grown the way she looks. Here, Puss. Puss. Here. What's doing, Puss? Hey? She's getting reasonable size. She was down here the other day, and I looked up, and there's a rabbit running that way. She's chasing the rabbit. As the rabbit changed direction, she just stood there and looked at us. Black Kitty's always, Black Kitty's made the first move in regard to Rabbit League, but I think it was when she scrounged off a rabbit that had been killed by a hawk, but you'll see that in another video. That was a funny night that night. Yeah, some of them here you burn half or more than half. Like I said, some of them just don't want to take, but I mean, this just goes on and on and on and on. There's this other one here that's burnt like perfectly in half. Just that one sort of went alright, and then the grass lit up. I'll take you to where there's a big one. I should show you the photos of it. It's absolutely massive. I'll take you to that. Here's another one here. Went like a flippin' beauty. Cut little scraggles just there from it. Really went for it, this one. I mean, that come off this stump. And you'd all we got was just a bit of crap. And the rest of it's just a big stack of ash. I keep pulling wire out of these stacks of ash, especially if it rains. It's not when it rains, the way it's going. Well, I predicted in February that we might be coming onto a drought because of this El Nino thing. It's a weather pattern that goes between South America and Australia. And if they see the right things happening in South America, they can actually pre-predict the weather here. And, well, you know, we're a month into winter, and I should be starting to fill up my, you know, dams, as we call them here, or you might call them ponds in the States, you know, for water for sheep and whatever. They should be starting to fill up on their own, those big holes in the ground, but they're just remaining as big holes in the ground because we've only had about an inch of rain all winter, and we are now at the end of the first month of winter. But anyway, I think we might be coming into a drought this summer. We will see for sure. This was the whopper. This was actually two or so together. These were frickin' huge, over 10 foot tall. And this, I do have photos of this one burning, and it's going like the fires of hell, this thing. So the rabbit holes. There were some of the bases I just cut off, and it all sort of dried out. There was a green one in the back of it, and in front was a bit green, and she kept burning right up through into there. This took half a bean tin, well, about a bean tin worth of diesel, and because I'm using apricot tin, which is bigger, and that was all it took. And by cripes, when you see the photos of this, you'll know what a fire is for real. Stupid dog rose. I think we singed it. I should chop that off and throw it in, but unfortunately there's a few bits that I didn't see or couldn't get right into with the reciprocating saw and didn't cut off until just now, and as a result some of this stuff wasn't going to lean down because of this one that was holding in here, which is a bit of a bum, but anyway. Anyway, this is some of it. I mean, there's heaps more. We can go walking for bloody ages. These damn thickets didn't play ball. Most of the thickets didn't play ball. They just burnt in part and left half behind. So I'm going to make it's all about being compacted enough, and I've considered getting a hedge trimmer. I've got a mains powered one, but that's no good. I'm looking more for either cordless one or a two-stroke one to try and cut all this down a bit and get it all flattened. But a lot of this will settle down on its own over time. But the idea is to, when they're standing up, you don't have the density. When you cut the bottom off like that and they fall down, and then the wind blows them for a couple of months, they rustle down and they sort of get quite compacted at ground level, and then you can put a bit of paper underneath and splash petrol into it and dribble a little bit of splash diesel into it and dribble a little bit of diesel onto the paper, light the paper, and you watch. And you just keep throwing bean tins of diesel at it, and she really goes. But they hold their form upright, whereas if you cut them off and let them lay, you know, that was the top and it's now on the side sort of thing, they will sort of get more compacted over time. But I may try and a lot more, or put a hedge trimmer through to sort of help them collapse more, to break up the structure, you know, of all the branches. The other thing is, and this is a brilliant one that helps you along quite a bit, that's the grass is growing all green inside there. I mean, that grass is like Shit, that's like 8 inches tall or something in there. The sheep won't eat the grass inside it because they can't get to it. They'll eat all this stuff off nice and short, but not the stuff there. Now in the summer, that all goes dead. And when you get to the end of winter, it's still dead. And it is a fantastic way to just light the dead grass, and often enough, it'll take a bit of it out and maybe a couple of bean tins of diesel, and you'll wipe the whole damn thing out. And that is what I have done with some of them. Just lit the dry grass that's grown up through it, purely because the sheep won't eat it because they can't get to it, but they can get to all this other stuff around you, which is good because then it's nice and short, and there's no way the fire gets away because the grass is so blasted short, and also because it's all eaten away, green grass will grow there as opposed to just dry grass, which, you know, can give you a chance of the fire getting away. But if there is any dry grass, it's usually as flat as a tack anyway, and the fire just won't sort of carry on dry grass. It's like real flat, like that sort of thing. But when you get it like this, like the clumps, it'll go like hell. And that's why I bought that red Riga thingy, and it come in handy a few times. But anyway, I think I've shown, I can show you more of the same, but there's probably no point. There's a bit more burnt up there. But yeah, this is what I've been doing with my time. There's a few sections where you can see, well, there's one right there. You can see right up to the pine trees up the top. And it's the same when you just walk over there. You can also see, and I'm trying to get a few areas where you can just see straight up, get rid of all the individual ones, throw them into piles, so we've got whole big strips where you can see straight up. And as for the big globs of thickets, leave them to last, because the amount of those is, I can count them on one hand, so